Madam President, we will take up previously adopted Resolution 1987 by Senator Parker and Senator Brouk. Read its title and recognize Senator Brouk to speak on the resolution.
The Secretary will read.
Resolution 1987 by Senator Parker, memorializing Governor Kathy Hochul to proclaim March 2024 as Endometriosis Awareness Month in the state of New York.
Senator Brouk on the resolution.
Thank you, Madam President, for the chance to talk about this resolution for Endometriosis Awareness Month. Oftentimes, I stand in front of my colleagues and anyone watching and talk about maternal health and some of the challenges that both birthing people and people with uteruses face, and oftentimes I'm spreading awareness around some of those issues that many of us aren't as familiar with. Endometriosis is a progressive systemic inflammatory disorder characterized by the presence of endometrial-like tissue or lesions outside the uterus. Though this condition does very much impact reproductive health and is a leading cause of infertility, it's important to note that endometriosis is not simply a uterine disease. It's a systemic condition that impacts the entire body and can be found in virtually every and any organ. And like so many, as I mentioned, women's health conditions, there's often a lack of education and awareness. But the fact is that it's estimated that 1 in 10 women and girls are living with endometriosis. And those who receive a diagnosis, nearly 80% of them are misdiagnosed before they ever get the correct diagnosis. I want to recognize and thank a constituent of mine, Aria Valles, who brought this to my attention, and I'll share a little bit about her story to really illustrate what this can mean for a young woman and a young girl. She experienced pain so severe that she fainted in the middle of a science exam in high school. Although she presented with textbook endometriosis symptoms, she was told she was just having period cramps. Take some Advil, sleep it off. It took nearly 10 years, 6 doctors, a dozen emergency visits, and 2 hospitalizations before Aria received the correct diagnosis. And sadly, this is not a unique experience. Hundreds of thousands of young women and girls are facing similar discreditations of their pain and misdiagnoses along the way. As leaders, we truly have an obligation to make our state and our communities safer, healthier, and more equitable. And that starts by the simple measure of recognizing and spreading awareness for some of the pain and suffering that our young folks and women across the state are dealing with. For those reasons, I thank this body for bringing this resolution, and I proudly vote aye.
Thank you. The resolution was previously adopted on March 19th. To our guests, we welcome you on behalf of the Senate. Thank you for your advocacy. Please rise and be recognized. Senator Giannaris.